What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Hot Wheels toy review on the Justice League Batman Transforming Flying Fox, along with the Justice League 5-piece character cars set and the single-carded Flash. I have to give a big thanks to Warner Brothers for sponsoring this video, along with sending me these goodies right over here to review for you guys. If you want to join the league for exclusive content, be sure to click the link in the description below at jointheleague.com. And these look pretty awesome. I do like these character cars right over here, and we have the Batman Transforming Flying Fox. How did you guys know, Warner Brothers? How did you guys know I like things that transform? But anyway, looking at the packaging right over there, looks pretty cool. It says Justice League Hot Wheels character car. Not much more on the side. Get a little bit of a sticker right there. You can see all 5 cars, looking pretty sweet. Not much at the bottom on that one. And then we have the Flash, who is not included in this set right there. And you can see on the back of the card, there's actually a Justice League car that is not included over here. And then looking at the packaging right over here for the Batman Transforming Flying Fox, that looks very cool. I like that a lot. See, it says 2-in-1, folds up right over there. So there's the both modes. And then on the very back, you can see some more product shots. Not looking too shabby at all. So we add some rampage right over there, looking pretty cool. I'm excited to open up this set, so let's get to it and crack these things open. And here's the Transforming Flying Fox out of the packaging, looking awesome. I really like the design for this thing. I don't remember seeing it in the Justice League trailer. I mean, I'm not saying it's not there at all. I just don't remember seeing it. But I think it makes sense that they do have this in the movie, right? You know, they would all travel together. That would make sense to me, especially, you know, Bruce Wayne, you know, helping out with that. We have Wayne Enterprise stickers right over there. And I like the design of this because it really does remind me of the 90s animated series Batmobile, right? Kind of has that look to it. But anyway, this is storing 6 vehicles, so it can store up to 6 vehicles in here. And I do want to take a closer look at all 6 of the vehicles, plus the extra Batman vehicle that comes with this guy. So let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look later on at the Transforming Flying Fox. And here are all 7 vehicles out of the packaging. Now, one thing I want to mention really quick is on the back of the card right over here for the Flash car, you could see that we had that Justice League, but you could see also that there are actually different vehicles for these different for the different characters than what we're seeing right over here. So I guess there's different versions, and I don't really know all the names of these vehicles, so I'm just going to try my best with these, because like for instance right here, the Wonder Woman, which is actually my favorite out of the group. I love this one. I love how it has this weathered kind of look to it, you know, with Wonder Woman being the oldest one out of all of them, which is kind of funny because at STCC somebody had mentioned that, and Gal Gadot was like, hey, who are you calling old? And then she's like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman is, yeah, she's the oldest one. But anyway, looking at this, I really like the detail that we're seeing right here with these lines. And again, there's this soft wash throughout right over here that really adds this nice aged wear to the vehicle. So I like that. I like these tinted red windows right there. So this looks like a Stingray, right? A Corvette Stingray, what, from the 60s? I don't know what year. I also really like these gold rims that we're seeing, so it's very cool. I love how they incorporate the character design into the vehicle as well. That's pretty awesome. I dig that a lot. And then these are all made with die cast, by the way, so I just wanted to mention that. Here's looking at the Superman. I really like how the Superman one is very long, kind of like he's flying through the air, so I think that's pretty awesome. But you get the nice Superman crest, or the symbol of hope, right there on the very front. You even see that kind of textured pattern that he has in his suit, you know, painted on here, so I think that's a very nice added detail to this. We just have these translucent clear windows right there, and then looking at the cape part of it, isn't looking too bad. I like that, very nice glossy look. And then we have these very metallic hubcaps right over here, so that's pretty sweet. I really like this Batman. This one's very cool. Now there's actually 2 Batmans. This is the one that comes with the Flying Fox, so I think this is neat as well. It kind of looks like it's trying to resemble more of an older Batmobile than actually incorporating a lot of the character's design into it. Not that it doesn't have character design involved. I mean, of course we have the bat ears right there. So you turn up the settings, it looks a little bit better as we get brighter, but you can see the bat ears, and you can see the bat logo right there on the very top, or on the very back of it. Same thing with this one. They both have that bat logo right there. So I think this one looks nice, but I just prefer the one that came in the packed set, and I really like how it has like the texturing of the Batman suit and everything, and you have the Ben Affleck Bat logo right there, clear translucent windows. So yeah, I think they are sculpted exactly the same though. I think they're the same exact vehicle, they're just painted differently, right? They do look like they're exactly the same, just different paint jobs. So I do prefer this paint job more. And then we have the Flash, which I think is a very cool looking one. I like the Flash. Much smaller, kind of has that young spunky look to it and everything, right? That's the kind of Flash we're getting. So I think that's very cool. I'm liking that. I like the little gold trim that we're seeing right here on the hubcaps. It says Justice League on the side right there. And then we get this big old beefy one right over here for the Cyborg, which makes sense, right? You know, Cyborg having this extra piece right there. And we have this resembling the chest plate of Cyborg too, looking very cool. Or the eye of Cyborg, I don't know which, but still, it reminds me of Cyborg, which it's supposed to do. So that's very neat. I really like this metallic gray throughout. Looks very cool. We have the spare tire right there. Very neat. Digging this a lot. Like that translucent red too. And then we have the Aquaman, which I thought was a very interesting take. I thought this was actually really neat how they went ahead and did this. I think they executed this very well. I mean, you have this translucent plastic throughout right here that actually works great. I like that a lot. And I like how this looks like a spear or a submarine, right? Kind of looks like a submarine on water a little bit, but it's supposed to replicate the arrowhead and stuff, so that's very cool. Or the symbol on his belt anyway. And of course we have this pattern throughout, you know, the wardrobe of Aquaman, looking very cool. We get translucent yellow right there. I like how the color of gold kind of changes, or it's more of like a copper color, but yeah, you can see it's just a little bit different right over here on the very top than it is on the sides. So I think that is very nice. I dig that a lot. And just to demonstrate, all 7 of these roll perfectly fine. Yeah, so, you know, as Hot Wheels do, they have a nice rolling ability, which is great. You know, there, oh, yep, oh, come on, you guys are supposed to be on the same team. Now, before getting a closer look at the Flying Fox, I highly recommend looking at this instruction booklet right over here. So it does show how to use the Flying Fox and how to install all of the Hot Wheels cars in there and everything, and how to attach ramps and stuff, which I don't have, but you could see right over here. You can attach ramps right over there and right down there and on the sides and everything, which is very cool. And then you also get this sticker sheet right there, and as you could see, it took me a little while to put these stickers on. I'm not the hugest fan of placing stickers on toys and stuff, but you know, there you go. A few of them kind of came out looking a little crappy, but I think I did a decent job for the most part. But anyway, looking at the Flying Fox over here, in closer detail, you can see that we do have some nice sculpting going on throughout this piece. It does look very nice. I do like it. They could have just gone with a flat paneled thing going on, but no, they have all these little sculpted lines and details, even on the fins right over here, even on the very top, looking really good. I like that. Nice big bat symbol, and you can see it says Wayne Enterprises on the side, and there are Wayne Industries on the side, sorry. And then here's looking at the front of it, and looking on the other side, and looking on the back right over there. So at this moment, it does not have any cars inside, and you can just fold it open like so. You could flip down these bits right over here on the sides, and flip these down in the front, and you could go ahead and flip this down right over here, and I think that looks pretty sweet. Now one thing I did is I actually switched the Superman and Batman symbols right here. The directions show you to put Superman on this side and Batman on this side, but it's only because that if there was ever like a Team Superman versus Team Batman, I would assume that the Flash and Cyborg would be on Superman's side, and Wonder Woman and Aquaman would be on Batman's side. That's just my little, you know, my Batman v Superman Part 2 scenario in my own head that I just came up with. But yeah, you can see the stickers applied right there. That looks a little sloppy, along with the other triangle one right over here. That could have been done better. But I do like how this looks. It looks pretty sweet. And then you have the top side right over there. One thing that's pretty cool is that you can change how high you want this to go. So you can lift this up right here and you can position it anywhere you want. You want to make sure that these fins right here are facing upward and kind of click into these little side pieces right over here so that it supports the whole thing. But yeah, you can go ahead and, you know, throw a couple of cars right on the very top right over there, and that doesn't look too shabby. I'm going to lift that up, you can see right over there. So that's pretty sweet how that works. And then you also have the option to take these off and then move this all the way down right here. And you can just push this down and then you can see the cars go. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Let's do it again. Oh, come on, Cyborg. See, there's this little line sculpted right over here, so that's where I'd like to put the front tires in front of that. And, oh, come on, Cyborg. I guess because Cyborg, you know, it's such a bigger vehicle There it goes. Yeah. And then you have this thing right here, and it can change the direction of the vehicle. So let's use Aquaman. So if you want the vehicle coming out to the side, you can do that, and he'll kind of move to the side. It doesn't really work that well, to be honest with you. It's kind of too much of a sharp turn, but you can make that happen. Oop, I have to say I did get this to work with the Flash vehicle, and you actually want to push this down on this little tab right here, so check it out. Boom. I almost made it all the way through. Hold on a second, let's try again. There it goes. You also get the option, you have this whole backdoor feature right over here, which doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. You can go ahead and lift this up, and then the vehicles just spit out the very back, which I think is very cool. Now, as far as getting a display going, you want to push that down right there, and push this down over here. And what I actually like to do is to go ahead and I'm going to put the Flash in the front right there, and then I'm going to put this Wonder Woman right over there, and then I'm going to put Batman on this side, and then Superman right over here on this side, and then I'm going to go ahead and put Aquaman right there, and I'm going to put Cyborg right over here. That's my display choice for this. That's how I think that should look anyway. I think that looks coolest like that. I really like that a lot. That looks pretty awesome. Now again, you can store 6 vehicles in this, but the directions only show storing 4. And that's because there's secret storage right over here on the very top. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and close this up, and then lift these up right over here. And then it's kind of tricky to do. It's actually a little better to have this folded up already. And then what you can do is move these to the side, and then kind of sneak the Batman in right there, and then sneak the Superman in right over there, and then close this up, and you could hear it latch and everything. Oop, this fell down, so now I kind of have to lift it up again and put that down and lift that up again and close that. But there you go. Now you have 6 stored in here, which is awesome. I like that. You hear them all rattling around in there. But that's not all. You also get these projectiles that are at the very top. So I already put the 2 discs in there. You only get 2 of them, and you just push this forward, and bam! There. Oh, that looks really weak. There it goes. That one was a bit better. So putting these back in here again. And by the way, they have little bat logos on them, which I think is very cool. So you can see how that looks. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Oh, it's the 2 different batarangs. I just realized that right now. Huh. But anyway, you can go ahead and just slide this one right in here, and then take this one and move it all the way up there. And then let's get this firing thing going once more. So let's see. Oh, pachow. That first one's just kind of weak, so you need to like use the second one to kind of push it in there all the way. Then have this one sitting right on top, and then yeah, there it goes. Bam. Yeah, so that is pretty sweet. And then one other little function I wanted to show off, which I didn't see in the directions, kind of found out on my own, is that if you take these 2 ramps down, you put those down, and then you move these off to the side. And if you already have those 2 vehicles stored on the ramp, which were the Batman and the Superman, you can just lift this up and have them fly right out like that, which didn't work as smoothly as I would have liked it to for the demonstration, but still pretty cool that you can do that. Let's try it again. And then, yeah, so okay, that doesn't work out the best. Again, I just came up with that on my own. I thought it was kind of a fun thing. It worked a couple of times, but, and then you can, of course, just go right back to that one right over there. So again, I think this is a very fun set. I really like this a lot. I always like these concepts where they take the superheroes and they go ahead and make them into vehicles, and they take the designs and everything into vehicle form. I think that's pretty awesome. One thing to note is that the Cyborg won't fit through the rear hatch right over there. That's not going to work. He's just too big and bulky, but the others are just fine, and I really like these a lot. I'm curious to know which one out of these is your favorite design. Again, my favorite is the Wonder Woman, you know, especially because I really like the Stingray a lot, and I really like the weathered look and everything. And plus, come on, man, Wonder Woman, huh? Who doesn't love Wonder Woman? And I hope you guys loved this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this review. Let me know what you think of this set. If you want to hit the subscribe button for more ShartimusPrime videos coming your way, please go ahead and do so. And if you already hit the subscribe button and you haven't hit the notification bell, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you know immediately when the next ShartimusPrime video is posted. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's over at toynewseye.com. And you can follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And again, I want to thank Warner Brothers for sponsoring this YouTube channel and providing me with this product to review for you guys. I'll catch you guys later. Peace! I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what the strangers say. I'm gonna play with my toys today.
That's crispy. we're shot your face. I said we're shot your face. I said we're shot, we're shot